So the best ways, a secret to write the perfect sales pitch for cold emails, calls, social touches, we leverage a 6-step process. So the first step is the persona. As you can tell, I'm pretty obsessed with personas because you have to really understand what are the goals, what are the pain points, what are the responsibilities, what are the biggest desires of these personas. People care about 2 things: getting rid of pain or getting to a future state that they want to go to. And it's interesting, data psychologically, people want to get rid of pain more than they want to achieve like a desired outcome. And if you think about like weight loss commercials, you know, they'll always pitch you like you'll lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds. But what's interesting is like the commercials that are focused on relieving pain versus future state perform the best. So pick your persona, figure out what are their biggest pain points and their biggest desires, and write messaging to that. Step 2, the opener. You know, on average, you have 7 to 14 seconds to continue the conversation or to continue the prospect reading your message. 7 to 12 seconds, that's all you've got. So you have to pique their interest. And after making over 100,000 sales calls at Seamless, what we've found, the best opener for all of your calls, emails, social touches is come in with positivity. Hi, Mike. I love the work that you're doing over there at Marketo, man. Oh man, your marketing automation software, best in breed, world class, game changer. Why we go with the compliment? Mike doesn't even, like, am I a customer? Like Mike's like, I'm feeling pretty good. This is awesome. I love this. So it's psychologically, he doesn't even know what this call's about. But if I go in there, hi Mike, it's Brandon over at Seamless.ai. Are you having a good day? Hi Mike, this is Brandon over at Seamless.ai. Did I catch you at a good time? Dude, I'm in like 700 calls, 18 meetings, no. You did not catch me at a good time, it's not a bad time, I don't want to talk to you. But when you come in and you open with positivity and you open with a compliment, everyone loves compliments. Like across the board. If you're trying to date someone gives you a compliment, you love it. Anyone talks to you, like you wrote a blog post, man, Ed Porter. Dude, Ed in the back, he won like every award last night, by the way. Let's give it a round of applause for Ed. You know, if I give a compliment to Ed, man, dude, congrats on all the awards. How do I do that, man? It brings down the barrier to listen to that email, call, or pitch. So we're big on complimenting, and then complimenting with research as well. So you come in there, you give the compliment, and add some research. You know, I used to do a lot of work with Marketo. So like, if you research, let's just say I'm calling Mike at Marketo, you talk about what their product is or what they do. You know, really impressed. Mike, love what you're doing over there at Marketo. Really impressed with your marketing automation software, the work that you're doing for Cisco, Dish TV, and Amazon is incredible. Here's a big game changer. Okay, so now where do we go with it? Can I get 27 seconds? So this opener, we've tested every opener over 100,000 sales calls. Now it's not gonna work anymore because all of you guys are gonna use it. Can I get 27 seconds? First off, no one says that. 27 seconds, like you're automatically gonna be like, sure, shoot. Like everyone's got 27 seconds. No one's got a minute, no one's got 5 minutes, no one's got 10 minutes. Hey Mike, can I get 15 minutes? Can I get 10 minutes to tell you why I'm calling 5 minutes? Hey Mike, love the work that you're doing over at Marketo. Can I get 27 seconds real quick? He's gonna be like, yeah, sure, shoot. Then you go in, again, Mike. That's when, so we move from step 3 into step 4, the elevator pitch. The elevator pitch has gotta be highly focused on their industry and what they do. A lot of people, like if we go to the broad messaging and why niches are so critical, when you go into broad messaging, if I say, hey, we help companies, you know, get sales leads, it's just unrelatable. So your elevator pitch has to be highly focused on the prospect, highly focused on the account. That's why, and the contact. So the account and contact niches are critical so that your elevator pitch is spot on. So, hey, Mike, you know, we help inside sales professionals. Like, let's go back to the elevator pitch. This is the elevator pitch, you know? This is, when Mike reads this as an SDR, this is gonna relate to him 50 times more relatable than a broad elevator pitch. write the elevator pitch with the biggest desires and the biggest pain points of the prospect. And that's like the third line. Of all your call scripts, all your email scripts, all of your phone scripts, social scripts, you go into the opener, persona opener, complement and research, that elevator pitch, and then you have to drop credibility. Everyone here, Fortune 500 companies, 1,000 companies, you want to know, like, who is this person calling me and why are they credible? Hey, Mike, and by the way, we help 20,000 software companies just like you increase qualified demos and booked appointments by 300% or more. I know that you could be one of the sales you could be just like one of the sales reps at Google, Facebook, Amazon that accomplish these types of results. So when you tie in the case studies and the logos that are so relatable to similar businesses of that persona that you're reaching out to, you come in with the badass compliment and research. Okay, now you bought a lot of time. You come into this amazing, highly personalized elevator pitch. Then you come in with the case studies and the logos that hit home. And some ways to use different logos. Like, I would recommend even trying competitors. Like, competitors are great. If Mike's at Facebook and I'm mentioning Google and LinkedIn, he's gonna be interested. He's gonna be like, well, how'd you do that for Google and Facebook? I'm at LinkedIn, I wanna know how to do that. So highly recommend all of these different logos, credibility factors, and different ways to also add in credibility factors. In your emails, calls, social pitches, tie in the actual case study. Hey, we helped Google go from booking 2 appointments a day to 7 appointments a day. We helped Amazon go from 4 appointments a day to 16 appointments a day. Like, tie in the actual results of like where they were and then where they want to go. Everyone's on it. Like, if you think about your personas, they're on this, they want to get to like the island of treasure, the island of money. Typically people want to make a lot of money, whether it's ROI, revenue results, or they want to save a lot of money. Like, they're here in this current state, point A. How are you going to help them get to point B? And that's when all of these testimonials come in. They want to take the boat, they want to take the rocket ship to get to point B as fast as possible, as cheap as possible, as soon as possible. And that's those credibility factors. So the last step of your sales script secrets for opening your calls, emails, and social touches is the call to action. How many of you have received a call or an email where it's like, hey, I want to give you a free trial, I want to book an appointment, and I want to connect on LinkedIn? Like, multiple call to action. Who's received a cold prospecting message with like 10 different call to actions? Raise a hand. Like, you just sit there and you're like, whoa. This dude just they're like trying to date you and marry you like right when you walked into the bar. And I'm like, you got to slow it down a bit. One call to action. The secret is one call to action, and try to make that call to action so easy for your prospect to commit that it's like dumbless. One of the hacks and secrets that I leverage when I know that I want to book an appointment with someone is I'll put every single time in my email or my LinkedIn messages for the next week. So for the next 5 days, I'll put 3 to 4 times each day for the next 5 days. I'd love to set up a quick 5-minute chat. How does next Tuesday work? 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 4 p.m. Wednesday, 7 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m. You go down, like, make it as easy as possible for your prospect to do 0 work and keep your call to action as simple as possible. You don't want to have 17 call to actions. Next secret, you have to write out all your scripts for your calls, emails, social touches for each persona in advance. And this is what I see a lot of companies, we work with over 20,000 companies, and a lot of them are like scared to write the call scripts, the voicemail scripts, the social scripts, the video scripts, the LinkedIn messages in advance. They're scared to plan out these campaigns in advance. Like, the good news is with SalesLoft and Outreach and all these different tools, people are now used to doing these like multi-touch outbound prospecting campaigns. Good news is before Outreach and SalesLoft came on board, I was selling for IBM Interactive, and all the marketers do this. They build a multi-touch like marketing campaign over time. and they plan out every message in advance. So when I was selling for Google and then when I launched Seamless, we did the same. And you're able to just accelerate the amount of booked appointments and opportunities that you generate when you plan out every single touch in advance with exact word for word scripts that you're gonna use. For LinkedIn invite 1, use this. For email 2, use this. For LinkedIn message 1, use this. For LinkedIn message 3, use this. And A/B test those scripts that you're using. So I'm not saying you have to use the same script for each touch, each different day that you plan out, but plan out your campaign. Like if you're in high transactional sales, your outbound campaign is gonna be like 7 to 21 days. If you're in 6, 7-figure deals, like I was doing at IBM and Google, you're like running outbound campaigns for months or years. So plan out all of those touches in advance, write out all the scripts, A/B test the scripts, use what's best, and then everyone, inside sales, outside sales, get everyone comfortable and bought in on planning out these scripts and using them and then constantly optimizing. Objection scripts. I'm a sales script junkie, especially with sales objections. So it boggles my mind, like we've only got like 6% of the companies that we work with plan out every single sales objection with every single sales script. It's like shocking. When you're selling, you're gonna run into the same 10 sales objections every single time. I'm not interested, no budget, already working with someone, send me more information, I need to talk to my boss, now is not a good time, call me back later, I'm not the right person. Guys, these sales objections you hear over and over and over again. Anything that you do repetitive over time, you need to automate. Figure out the best word-for-word sales scripts to overcome every single sales objection and drill it into your sales team every single day. I wasn't allowed to do that at IBM Interact. They didn't like scripts, right? So I couldn't, I'm like, guys, we're running the same 10 sales objections every single day. So then when I built an inside sales team selling for Google, I wrote 5 scripts for every single sales objection, and my team memorized them. And instead of generating 30 million in opportunities in a year at IBM, I was able to generate 100 million in opportunities in a year selling for Google, because we figured out, okay, every objection, what's the best sales script? And the best way to do this, awesome hack, get it into a Google Doc. So Google Doc, there's a feature where you have an outline, and when you click different headers in the outline, the page will move. It's almost like a movable website. So put these 10 sales objections in a Google Doc, write out all the sales scripts, and then your SDRs can click when they're on a call and they've got that Google Doc open. Someone's like, I'm not interested. They click the I'm not interested in Google Doc. The doc will move down to that section of the playbook, and boom, right there. Hey, John, completely understand. Everyone I've worked with said the exact same thing, and now they're our best clients. Let me share with you how we helped Amazon triple the amount of qualified meetings and opportunities in 60 seconds. Do you mind if I go over that real quick, or whatever it is? Like, have these scripts laid out, use those objections, get everyone bought in on the playbook. And writing these scripts is sometimes time consuming and difficult, but highly recommend getting the team bought in, work with your team to write the best objection scripts. My SDRs are now writing better sales objection scripts than I do. And listening to the SDRs and the AEs, getting their input, involving them in writing out the playbook to overcome objections also gets everyone bought in on using all the scripts to overcome the objections. So write it all out in a Google Doc, get the whole team involved, and you're off to the races. And we're so obsessed with sales objections. We wrote 20 different books. It's called the 7-Figure Sales Scripts System. We've got a book per objection. If you guys need any help, feel free to check it out. It's less about like overcoming the objection and closing the deal. It's more about addressing the objection to buy the time and interest to continue the conversation. So what we try to do is we try to address the objection to pique their interest enough to want to say, all right, like, we already know you're working with someone. Like, we knew that before we even called you. That's why you're on our list. Like, we knew to call you because you're already working with someone. I love that, John. Thanks, Ed, for telling me that. That's exactly why I'm calling. And let me tell you why, and then you open it up. So the next secret, 365 days of value-added follow-up. I'm on LinkedIn and I get over 500 messages a day. We get 1 million views on LinkedIn with our video content and our writing content, and I get 500 LinkedIn messages a day. I would say 480 of them are bullshit sales pitches. They're all sales pitches about them and their company and how great they are and their case studies, and it's got nothing to do with me. They didn't research me, they didn't compliment me, they didn't look at what we did, they didn't tell me how I'm gonna crush the competition, they didn't tell me how I'm gonna 10x the business, you name it. It's always about them. The 2% that create value-added follow-up, VAFU, value-added follow-up, the strategies, the tips, the best practices, the secrets to help me. Again, we talked about people are here and they want to get on the magic island over here. Their biggest desires, their goals, their dreams to get rid of their pain points. We need to leverage value-added follow-up in inside sales, outside sales to take them from point A to point B. So what we've done, we instituted this at Google and then we instituted it at Seamless is, okay, Outreach, SalesLoft, all these workflow automation tools, right? So you could easily create a cadence or a sequence with 100 templates. It's pretty sweet. So what we've done is we created, okay, there's 260 business days. We can't reach out to someone every day for 260 days. So let's just say every 3 days, that's 80 to 120 days, we want to reach out to the prospect and give them value add. There's 40 different ways to add value to your prospect every single day, like tips, strategies, best practices, white papers, competitive intelligence, case studies, ROI business cases, ebooks, books. There's so many ways to add value that educate your buyers to go from point A to point B, their biggest desires, goals, dreams, relieving all their pain. I would create a sequence in one of your workflow automation tools and start adding all the templates where you can deliver the value-added follow-up. So maybe you've got 30, like what we do. We know our sales professionals are always trying to improve cold calling, emailing, social selling, booking appointments, closing deals, objections, you name it. So we took 20 themes. Cold calling's a theme, social selling's a theme, emailing's a theme, booking appointments is a theme, each sales objection is a theme, and then we wrote out 120 different templates to add value. So we're doing tips, strategies, best practices, sales scripts, lead lists, anything and everything that we could do to help you sell faster and easier. We put it in a sequence, and we've got 90 different templates, which is crazy, 90 different templates. But then when, let's just say you do 30, one a month for your prospects, or I think that's too slow. Another secret is frequency. I think that you could, if you're adding value, you could be more frequent in your engagement and communication with your prospects. When you're not adding value, people are gonna unsubscribe. But if you're adding value, you're gonna be scared to unsubscribe because there's so much value that you don't wanna unsubscribe because you're gonna miss the value. So if I'm giving you these world-class sales tips that can help you make $1 million with calling, emailing, social selling, closing, overcoming objections, you're not gonna unsubscribe, you're gonna be interested in the next follow-up and the next follow-up, the next follow-up. And when you're doing value-added follow-up, I highly recommend, I think it's best give, and then take. For every 5 times you give, then you ask for something. So I like to play playing the long game with value-added follow-up. Give so much to your audience that when you do ask for them to book an appointment, or you do ask for the sale, or whatever it may be, that it's so easy for them to be interested in moving forward with that call to action that it's a no-brainer.